Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between I Am Has and DS's Rush. This is game 1 from the TESL, still round robin play. I'm not quite sure what group the players are in. I have conflicting reports right now. I will have to take a look at it and get back to you. Right now we can see Rush is spawning as the blue Protoss player over here at what I'll call the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we have the red Protoss player here, I Am Has, spawning as the red Protoss. So Protoss versus Protoss here on Whirlwind, game 1 in the series. And right now, Rush really trying to get a point on the board. Meanwhile, I Am Has this has and this is his first game that we've actually seen him in the round robin play. Yesterday, if you guys didn't catch the games, Gamania's slam was able to take a very easy victory over DS pretty convincingly. Now, what are we going to be seeing from the players? It does look like it is going to be building relatively close to home in a Protoss versus Protoss mirror match. Not too uncommon, just because of the power of the 4-gate. That 4-gate, if you try to get too greedy early on, you will get punished. You absolutely will get punished, as you may not have enough units and you don't have enough production in order to really fight off. On top of that, with a proxy pylon just outside your base or even in your natural, that home field advantage is moved very quickly to your front door, and reinforcements are coming in very strong. Now, let's take a look at what the red Protoss player is doing here. He is scouting out in the counterclockwise direction. It will take him quite some time for him to find his opponent, as we are seeing very standard builds coming in from both of these players. Both of these players pretty much going into the gateway into Cybernetics Core. However, we do see a bit of a variation. Rush is getting a slight delay on his second gas, and we'll see what comes of this. Harvester count is looking pretty even right now, only 19 units across the board, and I would be very surprised to see anything beyond that. So far, it looks as though Has a little bit unlucky in terms of the scouting, as he has scouted out his opponent and not realized where his opponent is, or he has realized where his opponent is now, but the instant he tries to come in with that probe, a mothership core may be able to shoot him down. Always a little bit dramatic there. The probe walking out, sent into the world to try and find where your opponent is, only to get zapped down by that mothership core. Parents getting involved in children's fights. Don't know how I agree about that. Anyways, let's take a look at what's going to be happening here. The Stalker is there. The probe is going to try and get away. However, the probe is slightly slower, and the Stalker is following it up. There is the final shot, and there it goes. Scouting out without or figuring out where his opponent is without really dealing much damage. So far, what is the follow-up play going to be from Rush? Rush is coming in with a mothership core. Meanwhile, he does have a Twilight Council as well, so we could see Blink Stalker play. I don't know if the gap here is too large, so it may just be an aggression straight up here, as we see a quick time warp being brought over to save some valuable hit points on this mothership core. By placing down that time warp, it enabled the mothership core to get away, not take an additional 3 to 4 shots from those stalkers. And that is important to note. The mothership core is a very expensive unit. It is, of course, very important to get a lot of energy stored up on that mothership core. But if it is low on hit points, there's no real way to repair it. The energy will always regenerate, but once the damage is dealt to the hit points, that is going to be forever stuck. Meanwhile, let's take a look at what's going down. Robotics Facility and a Twilight Council coming in from Has. Meanwhile, Rush already with his Dark Shrine hidden in the back of the base. There is a backdoor proxy pylon coming in. Meanwhile, another proxy pylon here. So this could turn into one of those very odd base race scenarios. Who can do more damage? And also, how important are those detectors going to be? Does have that robotics facility up. Is he going to be getting that observer? Yes, he is. He's even chrono boosting it out. And with that, I do believe the Dark Templar play will pretty much get shut down before it's even operational. However, is now going into Blink Stalker play, which is very important. You can see the majority of his units are in fact these Stalkers. The Stalkers, very, very micro intensive once you add Blink, and if you're able to peel back with those Stalkers, try to spread around that damage, spread around that hurt, and let the shields do all of the tanking, you can really maximize how much damage you are dealing. You can see that there is one Immortal now being trained. Is a Dark Templar going to try and make its way in? Yes, it will. And it really feels like pretty much knows what exactly is going on. Now, meanwhile, Rush actually deciding to back off here, realizing that there is nothing on the front door, and saying to himself, okay, this isn't too bad. The Dark Templar now doing a little bit of a roundabout play. Oh, he will get scouted out and taken down before even dealing any serious damage. This may just be a straight up build. A build win here, as the proxy pylon already in position, the observer now making its way off to the north, and the mothership core here. All right, what is going to be happening? The mothership core will need to play a lot of defense. Will it get enough for a time warp and a photon overcharge? That is the question. It needs about another 40 energy or so. There's that photon overcharge. Damage is being dealt. Stalker trying to get away, taking a little bit of damage, and now there you go. There is the retreat. Now, wait the 25 seconds and then do it again. Mothership core will not have enough energy to follow up, and this is one of those situations where that early time warp, should it have been used at all, or should that energy simply have been saved? Right now, we would be sitting at about 130 energy on that mothership, assuming that it was not maxed out, and another photon overcharge would be ready. All right, it looks as though the timing, as a Dark Templar now slips inside the main base here, just taking down a proxy or a pylon there. It is going to supply block his opponent, and that may be a little bit of a tipping point as the engagement now coming in. Stalkers blinking up onto the high ground here. No time warp. Immortals are trying to engage. The Stalkers are have blinked forward. There's that time warp again. Blink is readily available. There are two Immortals here as Rush looks to defend this fairly well, and all the Stalkers now in retreat. That mothership core, however, now pretty much out of energy. No more time warps, no more photon overcharge, and this is going to be painful, as this is going to be a repeat once again, and with only two Immortals, is it going to be enough? The blink needed to get up onto the high ground, as we now see more Stalkers coming into play. Down over here, do we have that Dark Templar? I could have sworn we had a Dark Templar earlier. Not quite sure where it is on the field. No, it has been taken down already, as the sentries, oh, there's a force field on the ramp, as the blink into the main base. A huge play by and wow, this is gonna be painful. All the units unable to get back up onto the high ground. Pylon after pylon falling. There goes another one there, losing power on one of those gateways. There goes another pylon. No more power. No reinforcements from any of the production buildings, as the mothership now tries to make its way over. Gonna focus down a couple of easy Stalkers, take down the Immortal, and now simply get the heck out of there. Enough damage was dealt. 25 to 28. Actually, taking a look at the overall scheme of things, units killed are pretty even. Losses are higher for Rush, but he does have this expansion. For some reason, he is not chrono boosting out anything, though, off of that Nexus, and that may come back to haunt him. He needs to get more Immortals out or something in order to defend. Mothership core still has not revealed this observer here. One cast of this, what is that? No, the revelation is on the Oracle, excuse me, thinking of the beta. Revelation or the detection ability not available just quite yet. Observer still sitting off over here. You can see that Zealots are now making their way off to the north. Pretty much inside the main base. Observer is there. No new units making their way in, as we are now adding in Zealots into the composition. All right. Not quite sure what shot down there. Perhaps a Zealot, as the Stalkers are now blinking forward. Going to try to take down a Zealot or two. And it looks as though the Zealots will be backing off. An Immortal joining in on the fight. That burst damage, so effective. But when the follow-up play comes in with Dark Templars, or excuse me, not Dark Templars, Zealots with charge, that may be the end of it. All right, we do have an Archon off here. Stalker's now trying to do a bit of an engagement. The Mothership Core is ready with energy, ready to go, perhaps adding in an additional photon cannon, and a very, very strong one at that, or that Nexus. Here we go. Here's the battle that's come in. Zealots are engaging. The Photon Overcharge now coming in a little bit late. Zealots are trying to back off. Meanwhile, Stalkers are engaging here, blinking forward, taking down the Immortal, taking down multiple units. Archon joining in on the fight as well. And it looks as though Haz is going to be able to handle this. Rush not able to defend. Stalkers just poking from the high ground. Stalkers now blinking forward, gonna finish off the Immortal, not even caring about that Nexus. And there it goes. All right, a new Dark Templar has made its way in. Is it gonna be enough? No, it is revealed. It is taken down. And with this and the Nexus, Rush's chances of pulling out a victory are slim to none, as we now see a massive army difference, 42-7. Zealots now looking to charge in here. It looks as though one Immortal is all that stands between victory and defeat. Will Haz be able to take it? I do believe so. Warp Gate Tech now trying to warp in more units. Are the pylons going to get taken down? Not quite sure what we're waiting on, as the battle is still going on. Blink and charge not yet researched. Here comes the probes off the mineral line, trying to save every last bit. Is it going to work? I don't believe so. The probes are now all backing off, and that may be the GG. Yes, Rush so far 0-3 in round robin play, and still pointless at this stage. Will he be able to recover a point and at least get on the board? Stay tuned for game 2 between Yo IM's Haz versus Rush's DS.